I just really want to look nerdy, and that means having these on because I don't know. It feels complete. So today I want to talk about my other sort of disability. I deal with chronic pain. I have dealt with chronic pain since I was about 12, and I turned 26 in less than a month. So there's 3 things that I deal with that basically, you know, equals or amounts to my chronic pain is this. Okay? Shoulder pain, back pain, and I have TMJ. If you don't know what TMJ is, I have no idea what the whole full long term of it is, but it's essentially lockjaw. So the thing I've had at first was back pain and shoulder pain. It actually happened, well, one, I have pretty terrible posture, and you know, I'm like slouched all the time at my computer when I'm doing work and stuff. But it really started when I had a severe neck muscle injury type of thing, and I had to go to the chiropractor for it and get that fixed over a period of time. And then eventually that turned into just my back and my shoulders and a little bit of the back of my neck too, just really being in a lot of pain. 24/7, it kind of stays still as a dull, not really dull, but it's annoying and it hurts, but it's not a flare-up. Now, every few weeks, I do get a flare-up, and it is probably one of the worst things ever. So it feels like my bones are kind of crushing together, and then sometimes it gets to my ribs and my ribs hurt, and it feels like a really, really bad all over body cramp, and my shoulders are just so I can't carry a lot of things on my back, or I can, but it hurts to do so. So for example, when I'm going to the airport and I have this heavy bag with my briefcase and my backpack and my laptops and all that stuff, it hurts my back and my shoulders so bad, and it basically gives me a flare up a few days later. When I went hiking up a very tall mountain, and for about 20 minutes, I would say, I had to hold a pack, and it was way too heavy, and I could not walk with this big old thing on my back because it hurt my back so much, and I was about to go into flare-up mode because of the amount of weight that was on my back, especially on my lower back. The pain switches, the location of the pain switches. Overall, it's like my whole back hurts, but then for 1 week, it's my upper back that will hurt, and then it will be my lower back for a different week, and it just switches, and I hate it. And I'm constantly having to ask someone to rub my back or give me little massages because, one, I hate going to, I don't like getting professional massages. Actually, I've only had 2, and those were free, one at Playlist and one at VidCon. But I never like to actually go get an actual massage because I don't want to pay for it because it's so expensive, and I'm like, no, it's fine, I'll just deal with it because I am absolutely terrible to myself. I usually go to a chiropractor for my back and shoulder pain, and it's fine, but it's $50 for 3-minute sessions. Like, he's so quick about doing it, and it sucks that I hated paying $50 for it every time. And I got into a car crash when was it? 2014. I got into a car crash 2014. Not my fault, by the way. I know, how do deaf people drive? What if they get into car crashes? Nah! Hearing 19-year-old boy hound read is what did it. But anyway, so I got into a car wreck, and it messed up my back again. I mean, it was already messed up, but this just made it worse, and I spent 3 days, like, a whole lot of flare-ups. Normally, if I have a flare-up, it doesn't last longer than a day at a time, but this one was just back to back to back, which is probably normal for if you get into a really bad car wreck, but it was like the pain that I already have with car crash pain on top of it, which just made it feel like it was even worse. So the most recent thing since 2012 is I was diagnosed with TMJ, aka lockjaw, aka that big old long-term, whatever it's called. If I had to choose between what hurts more, TMJ or my back and my shoulders, I wouldn't really know. I don't think I could pick. So I was diagnosed with it in 2012 after I came back from California. And fun fact, the symptoms of TMJ are similar to brain tumor symptoms, and I can imagine, obviously, that brain tumor symptoms, if it was an actual brain tumor, would be 10 times worse than the same or similar symptoms to TMJ. But it was like visiting WebMD and then, you know, saying, hi, I have a cold, and they tell you that you have cancer and then you're gonna die in 3 days. And I remember driving, I'd be driving home or driving anywhere, and my brain would be pulsing, like it was always usually on this side, and my brain would be pulsing in one spot constantly, and it was terrible. And I was like, okay. But I also noticed that, you know, my jaw was hurting right around here, and then most of the time right here, and then occasionally my jaw would lock up. But the main symptom was my brain right here, which is what scared me the most. You know, I went to the doctor and they're like, no, you don't have a brain tumor. You have TMJ, but you don't have a brain tumor. Yes, the symptoms are similar, but we promise. So I'm still here 5 years later, so hopefully. So I don't actually get brain pulsing that much anymore. It definitely stopped. It comes once in a blue moon, a few times a year, but definitely not nearly as often. But this, it has gotten so much worse over the years. And yeah, there's surgery and stuff to attempt to fix it, but yeah. My jaw is very stiff, it brings a lot of pain, and there's a lot of cracking, which I really should not be doing on purpose. That would not help it at all. But sometimes it's crack it. Every once in a while, my jaw gets to a point where I cannot actually open it. Like, I open it maybe that much, and then when it won't crack at all. And sometimes it'll crack so much that it feels like here it gets loose, and it's so painful. But most of the time, my TMJ is just that it's just a whole lot of pain. It feels like bone crushing, and the same thing that I get with my back and my shoulders. All three together, it makes it hard to walk for a long period of time. Sitting, laying down, it hurts, it sucks. Carrying heavy things, bending down, you know, going up and down all the time, trying to pick things up, really hurts. There are times when I am bedridden and I have to stay in bed because it just hurts to move. There's the chronic pain story. I don't know if TMJ really falls under chronic pain, but I know the shoulders and backs because it's something that I don't really talk about. I've mentioned having TMJ and back pain, but I never actually made a video about it. And since we were on the Disabilities on YouTube panel and Allie was talking about chronic pain and Annie was talking about chronic pain, I was thinking about it, I'm like, why don't I talk about mine? Because what I have kind of falls under it. I mean, it's not part of Lyme disease or what's it called, EDS, but it's still chronic pain. It lasts for longer than 12 weeks. This has been going on since I was 11. It's definitely been longer than 12 weeks of pain. If you have any experience with back pain, shoulder pain, TMJ, can we please just complain about it together? Because actually I think if I had to pick, I would choose my back and shoulder pain over the TMJ. I have enough teeth problems in my life and this does not help, and I'd like it to leave my brain alone, officially. Forever. If you want to follow me on all my social media, links to that will be down below. If you want to help support my content, you can do so by being a monthly patron on Patreon or leave tips on Coffee. Both links will be down below. I upload every Mondays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays, and I will see you later.